Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome for part 2 of our spooky Halloween Sims 3 supernatural fantastical thingamajig, which I am live streaming for charity. So if you guys are watching live, please hit that donation link. We're raising money for sick kids. Really awesome. If you're watching this on YouTube, well, you'll probably have missed this window, but you know, stay tuned. I'm trying to do more and more of these things when I can. So we have made our family. Now we just have to place them somewhere, and this is the beautiful town of, I think, Moonlight Falls. And as I was saying to the people in the live stream, it's a little bland, a little plain, because they're going for a much more rural place. I think they're sort of riffing on that Twilight vibe, you know, sort of like Northwest, like Pacific Northwest, you know, lots of trees and things. So it's not quite as busy, but it's still going to be kind of interesting. And I'm probably going to grab a plot near the center of town. Sometimes I try to grab one of the biggest, most expensive ones to build up, give you lots of room, which is tempting, but there's also a bit of a challenge in fitting things into a little bit of tighter confines. We could start with an existing house, but I think we're going to build a lot. So that's 5,000. This one is 32 and 32. You know, we could probably do the 5,000. Money's going to be really, really tight at first. So this one's 81. I like being in the center of town, though. I guess these are pretty even. You know what? We'll save a few bucks. We'll go here. It should be totally fine. There should be lots of room. We're closer to the baseball pitch, which is exciting. Across the street from a really spooky house, which is going to be fun. So there we go. 1138 Merchant Way is where we're going to buy a lot. Let me get the chat up again. So yeah, people are saying small, huge. Well, we're going to go middle of the road. This is going to be a medium-sized lot, with lots of room. And you can dig basements now and everything, so you can have multiple stories up, multiple stories down. We can build a huge house. We can build a huge house on a lot the size of a postage stamp. There's really a lot of options. In my head, I see the basement is going to be, we're going to build sort of like dungeon type places. That's where the alchemical laboratories are going to be. Maybe that's where the werewolf has his room, you know, because he wants to like chain himself up or something. Although I'm sure his fairy girlfriend isn't going to want that. She's going to want the sort of above ground sort of airiness. And there we go. There's our people. That hair. Well, it will not be hard to see her on the world map. Holy crap. And this guy's shoes, I don't know how much it's showing up on the stream, but it's like this bright green pixel in the middle of nowhere. Very easy to spot. We got a runner going by. All right, let's put a pause on here and see what's what. So, Moriarty wants to join the science career, learn the alchemy skill, socialize with a werewolf. Well, that'll be easy. You happen to know one. Well, that's interesting. Byron wants to become a firefighter. He's a daredevil and all that, but you know, I've never done that, and that's one of those like funny, different careers. It's not like a normal job. What the hell? We'll do that. Anastasia wants to socialize with the werewolf. Join a military career? What possible traits does she have that causes her to want to lean towards a military career? It doesn't make any sense at all. No, we're going to cancel that out. I'm not sure what I want to do with her in terms of jobs. Frankly, she can make a fortune just like planting a gigantic garden and orchard and just selling these super, super high quality plants. Or giving the ingredients to Catherine, who's a master chef, wants to join the culinary career, which we'll do. But they could give the ingredients to Catherine, who can make these incredible dishes and then turn around and sell those or something. But first, before we do any of that, we need a house. Actually, first thing I want to do is find the library and see if this is a town where the library has skill books. And the reason is, that's the bookstore. Yes? Yes. So the library will be blue. There we go. Library of Lore and Vault of Antiquity. I want to see if the library has skill books. Because some towns do and some towns don't. Yes! Good. Excellent. Okay. And that makes it very easy, because then you don't have to worry about buying your own bookshelf, because you have to get a few basic skill points right off the bat. It's super duper important. And everyone should probably learn a couple levels of cooking so they don't light the house on fire if they decide to make themselves a grilled cheese sandwich or something like that, even if they're not the primary chef of the household. So what I'm actually going to do is send everyone over here. In fact, everyone is going to start off by reading cookbooks. I think they'll have to use a different bookshelf. I'm not entirely sure. But it's a good start. I mean, they're going to want to learn their specifics at some point. But seriously, everyone needs a couple of levels in cooking. It's not an option. All right, and then we are going to head back to our home base, now that everyone's going to be out of our way. This is our lot, and we're going to build a house. So some people are like, oh, I can't believe it took you an hour just to make the people. Well, building a house might take a while too, although I think I'm going to go a little faster. I'm going to try some kind of quirky, weird stuff, because this is kind of a quirky, weird family. I haven't decided exactly what, though. You can make a really weird, like, multi-level floating thing that doesn't look physically possible. Could be a big stone tower, which is kind of interesting. That might be more interesting if it was just, say, Moriarty. It's definitely going to be multi-level. It might be interesting if, like, the first floor is nothing but a spiral staircase that goes up or down. You know what I'm saying? Very underground, yeah. Gothic. I think there's going to be a very, very distinct vibe. The upper ground, I think I want it to look like a treehouse, like nature, like all that. And underground is going to be this sort of dungeon with stone everywhere. But we only have so much money right now, so right now it's all about getting the basics. And mostly that means getting 2 of the best fracking beds in the entire game. I don't mean fracking beds, I just mean, you know, just really good beds. There might be a little hanky-panky later on, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Sleep is the most important thing for The Sims, because a good bed means you regenerate your energy a lot faster, which means you end up with a lot more time during the day. Which makes a huge difference, because a crappy bed could take like 12 hours to recharge completely, and a really good bed might take like 6 hours or less to recharge completely. And that's a lot of extra time for actually going to work in an energized state, having time to socialize and become happy, and all that kind of thing. I'm almost tempted to go and actually just buy 2 beds to start off with, and then see what our budget is at that point. So in the bedroom, beds. Now luckily we can have the beds just be double beds, so we're going to try to find a sweet spot. We do have a lot of money. We could afford like 2 just really stonking good beds. The max stat for energy is 10. See, and then there's this weird ones like 4. Why? Oh, it's the vibromatic with the vibrating thing. 10. Should we buy the cheapest 10 energy bed that's available? Like random level 5 energy one that makes no sense. Another one. Another one. An 8 here. See, it's like, it's really weird. You really have to look at them and see. This is a single bed. That's no good. We want a double bed. And we can save a lot of money by going, like, see, this is still an 8. And at this point, we're at half the price of some of the level 10 beds. 2,200 and still an 8. Still an 8 at 2,000. Be nice if there was a faster way to just search through this. Still an 8 at 1950, and the environment's actually quite high. There we go. Now we're in the 7s. An 8. Magical double bed. Oh, with vines and everything like that. Oh, now that... See, I think one of them is going to have that, regardless. And it looks like it's actually one of the cheapest level 8 beds. Sports car double bed. Yeah, okay. So one pair are going to have the magical double bed. Who's it going to be? I'm thinking the fairy. She's, you know, she's kind of plant-oriented. I like that. In fact, I don't think the bed came with that. It was just a normal sort of 4-poster brass bed. And just when she sleeps there, just plants start to appear and grow on things. That's going to be the fairy and werewolf bed. And then... I don't know. Sort of Egyptian-ish. I don't know if any of these are going to have a look that's particularly notable. I suppose we could go for one of these. It's more expensive. Magic... Oh, Majestic Rest. I thought it said magic. Lady Abigail's Bed of Puff. In the dark wood. Actually, I like that because this sort of dark wood with the sort of linen colors, I think looks very elegant, which is good for Moriarty. And, no, I like that. There we go. So we actually didn't spend as much on beds as I imagined. And then we have 2 really, really good beds, which is critical. Alright, so move them to the front and out of the way. What does chat have to say about all this? Kitty basket for the werewolf. Make them all share one bed. Yeah, though werewolf will never sleep in the vine bed. Let's, like, guys really don't care about that much. Should we put up foundation now? No, I don't think so. I think I want the ground floor to feel like it's almost just open and part of the environment itself. It'll look like the house is floating above ground. So we'll use a lot of glass walls, and the ground floor doesn't have to be very big. We'll just do a sort of maybe a 5 by 5. I don't know if I measured this out right. Yeah, 5 by 5. Not that 5 by 5 is small. Actually, hold on. Even a 4 by 4, because then we can do the spiral staircase in the middle. Something like that. And we might not have the budget right now to do the whole glassed-in effect, but just to show you the sort of thing I'm thinking. Are these the tall ones? Yeah. Right? So what you can do, something like this, and then maybe with like a more neutral frame on the side. You know? Something like that. All the way around. And in the front, use a glass sort of sliding door, something or other. Could literally have it open. Oh no, that's not what I'm looking for. Could literally have an arch. What kind of thing am I looking for? Like just like a patio door? These are steel doors, which is not exactly the vibe I'm looking for. Plain glass door. It's not a double, but I could, of course, just double it up. I think I like that idea. Come on. Swing the other way around. There we are. The lighting effects are kind of odd on it. But there you go. And then build a second floor. And it should just be like a reverse pyramid or something crazy like that. Each floor should just get slightly bigger than the other. I'm thinking wood. Let me turn off the auto roofing. Now if I put a tile there, can I keep expanding it? Oh, I can too. Alright, there. And that'll be the first floor, and then we'll go up one more, put the bedrooms up there. So here we're going to have like just the kitchen, maybe even the bathroom, I don't know. Again, we have a limited budget, so we've got to make do with what we've got. Boom. Second set of stairs. And we need walls. Might be half like patio. We'll figure it out. We'll sort of create the utility aspect of it first. Oops, that's the wrong object. I want that. Yeah, let's make the next one just bigger. This is actually entering ludicrously big territory here. It's a huge house. Blowing our budget just on flooring. Maybe we don't enclose it. Maybe we put the beds on this floor. Yeah, okay, we're going to change it, but for now, due to budget reasons, we do have to split these guys off, though. There's not enough room for the beds to fit. Alright, I guess we are going up here. I think I'm just going to put up some very basic, just utilitarian walls for now, and then we'll figure out how to actually work it out later when we have a budget. Or, rather, no budget at all. Unlimited budget. I don't even have to close this all in. You know, save a little bit of cash. Let's do that. And we'll build a patio up front. And I keep building these stupid, boring, flat, like square houses rather, not flat, square. You know, maybe we can do like a shared bathroom between them. I'm sure that's going to lead to some fights. Oh, Byron filled the drain of the shower with hair again. He clogged it. Okay, we're gonna put super cheap doors on this for now. Just the doors. Like that. We'll probably have to put wallpaper up or they're gonna be cranky about it, but we'll see what our budget is. Bathroom, bathroom, bathroom. Shower or bath? Maybe the combo one? A shower of power. It's expensive. Common commode. And I'm just going to put a cheap sink in there too. The whole layout for the bathroom I'm not happy with, but it's functional for now. I maybe didn't have to go for this, but I think it'll be kind of handy. Then they don't get the cold shower debuff. They'll actually be quite happy. Kitchen, we may undo some of this as we try to populate the kitchen, because a decent refrigerator is good so that it doesn't have just the bad food debuff, but I'm not sure. Wow, this one's actually a really good price point. Hunger 8, Environment 4 for a low price, just because it looks old-fashioned. I can live with that. Let's go stainless steel. Seems like a bad price. If you play The Sims, you can download a trillion different objects, then you're just like laughing. I'm gonna put down the absolute cheapest counters. We're definitely going to replace them at some point. Stove. Now, there's a temptation to go with the cheapest stove, but there is a definite sweet spot. If you go up a little, I mean, the amount of hunger that is satisfied by the stove goes up, but there we go. This is the one I want. It gives you bonus to cooking and learn cooking faster, which is pretty good. But even if we go up just a tiny bit more to the Triforge stove, now it is twice as expensive, but then it's also self-cleaning. And in my opinion, that is worth the money. Can we not stick it underneath that? Oh no, of course not. I was thinking dishwasher. So let's move this around a little. Let's put this here. We're gonna need lights, obviously, but we'll get to that in a second. I also really feel that it's important to put down a food processor. It improves cooking time a lot and increases the quality of food a lot. It's a good idea. We should also have a sink. And I'm just going to install sort of a cheap metal sink on top of that. A dishwasher is also handy, but we're gonna have to save some money. And so I don't want to max out on how many items I put in the house, because they're going to get wishes for an item. You know, oh, buy X, and then when you buy X, then they get happy. I'm gonna put in some cheap windows, like literally like cheap. These small windows which produce just as much light as everything else, for no reason whatsoever. Just so that there's technically some lights. It's not even gonna be super bright or particularly even. No, I guess it is. All right. And I think I'm gonna go for like just bare light bulbs. I gotta save some money. Let's go in this mode. Go into lighting, and I like the ceiling lights, and just some bare light bulbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, because we're gonna fill this better later. 1 and 2. We gotta move that bed. I just noticed, because no one will be able to get in on the other side. I think this is everything they need to live. Yeah, the game is actually easy. That's the thing with the cheats people are saying in chat over here. Cheating The Sims 3 isn't the end of the world. Like, you should never feel bad about it, because the game is actually easy if you're just looking to make money fast. That's not really a challenge. So if you're into the building, it's not the end of the world. For me, the challenge is really important, so I'm gonna leave it as is, and not use any cheats. I guess we will put a roof on our house of some kind. Like, should we go with something weird? Can't auto roof? Oh, can't auto roof pagodas, that's right. Or conical roofs or anything like that. Oh, you can do. Like, what? Why is there a roof here? Alright, turn off the auto roof. Clear the roof. I think roofs are free. Pagoda gable. And flatten out the angle because it's a little ridiculous. There we go. Like, what a stupid looking building, right? But that's the sort of thing I want to go for. I want to go for something really bizarre. And then off the back of this one, I'm going to build a bridge to some other back building or something really inexplicable. I just want to break the mold. So I don't have any more money, so I can't keep spending. I can't even wallpaper. I mean, I've got 800 bucks, but we need to leave, like, a window. So, there's the house. At some point, we're going to have to manually tell people where to sleep so that they associate the beds with themselves. And right now, everyone is going to read. What are you doing? Oh, you're riding a broom. Ain't that cute? I don't know. Well, it looks like the stream's actually pretty good. I was worried that it would start getting choppy. Well, I mean, it's a little choppy at my end, too. Feeling bookish, took a trip to the library. There's going to be a lot of those pop-ups. There we go. So everyone's going to come to the library. Everyone is happy that they're coming here. And yeah, the witch can start off riding brooms. Everyone can learn to ride them at some point, but the witch starts with that built in. Which always strikes me as funny if you're living in a non-magical world and you make your person a witch, and then all of a sudden, like, people in town are going to freak out. But there doesn't seem to be, like, a code of disguise here. So she wants to learn cooking, she wants to take a class in cooking, wants to buy an alchemy station, which we will, wants to play with magic. Well, hopefully that sticks around. Learn logic, buy an alchemy station. I'm going to queue those up because I'd be quite happy if... Well, I'm going to get one at some point anyway. Learn charisma, play a trick on someone. The fairies do like to play tricks on each other. Learn athletic skill. Take a class in athletic skill, transform into a werewolf. Learn alchemy skill. No, I don't think you're going to do that, Byron. So everyone's going to sit here and learn cooking. It's going to be very, very boring. But there you have it. Actually, I'm going to put a quick break in this video and come right back. Now that we've finished the house construction, we're starting to play. So, be back in a moment.